All right, good morning, traders. Today is August 31st, 2023. Good morning. My SPY pivot this morning is 450.59. SPY's been acting super bullish lately. I did expect it to at least run down and challenge the minor support area. Doesn't seem interested in pulling back at this time. Watch for a target of 453.52. Above that number, there is an open gap. They will probably try to trick us and spike that number pretty good, but be careful when you get up there. So there's another open gap that leads us back up to the, up to the highs. Okay, so SPY and QQQ are bullish and knocking on the door of pullback quadrant 4. Diamonds are challenging the overhead minor resistance. FNGU and IWM are knocking on the door of their pullback midpoints. The dollar hits a minor support and is headed back up to challenge the recent highs from a few days ago. Gold, silver, crude oil, and natural gas have all been acting bullish this week. Let's keep an eye on those and see if we can find some opportunity hidden in there. All right, let's drop this and go take a look at the charts. All right, so here we are with the SPY. This is our open gap overhead, this green shaded area. This is the head of the head and shoulders pattern. If price action happens to trade up over the head and shoulders pattern will be negated. All right. So we are right now into some of this major resistance and right here into some minor resistance of this group. See this battery over here, this in the circle, that's your minor resistance. There's some minor there and some major. So we're right up into major resistance up here. All right, so price action in the pre-market, 452.38. Don't be surprised to see it hit 453.50 and bounce away. In other words, come back down, maybe test this area here for support, and then shoot up to challenge those highs. So there is SPY. All right, knocking on the door, quadrant 4. Quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4's at the top. Knocking on the door, quadrant 4, and the open gap. All right, there's SPY. QQQ doing about the same thing. Head and shoulders pattern for the QQQ. If they breach these tops up here, they will negate the head and shoulders pattern currently showing. All right, so here is quadrant 1, 2, 3, QQQ knocking on the door of quadrant 4. So we'll see what happens here today. So we got a few earnings coming out, I think, tonight. I think we got Broadcom. That's a big one. That could blast us right up into this area up here. We'll see with the QQQ. So here's the uptrend line of the QQQ. And you can see it starts back here at the beginning of the year. And it just has been a monster bull all year long so far. So there we are. Here's the quadrants of the pullback. And we're bouncing back up. So there's QQQ. Now, let's go look at IWM. All right, so here's IWM. Not quite as strong as QQQ and SPY. All right, got a head and shoulders pattern there. And you can see IWM's knocking on the midpoint door here, trying to close candles up over there. Anytime a pullback results in price action closing candles up over the midpoint, I got to give it. That's 51%. I got to give the action to the bulls. I got to give them the ball. I got to believe that they're in charge of price action. In the current time. So there's IWM knocking on the door of the midpoint. Little peaky challenge yesterday. Little pinky challenge coming up here to try to challenge that area. So here, setting up the right shoulder for a possible head and shoulders pattern on IWM. FNGU, kind of doing the same deal. FNGU. Now this is the one that moves all of the markets. Here's our downtrend, spike in the downtrend right here. All right, trying to move up. Challenge, this would be the midpoint. So we get quadrant 1, quadrant 2. Midpoint's this dotted dashed line right there. So they're knocking on the door. You can see they did a little pinky challenge yesterday there. And they're knocking on the door of the midpoint today. And we'll see if they can breach over it. If they get over that, the next stop is this neckline up here. So we'll see what happens with them. And they've got some minor resistance overhead as well. So they're kind of like trading through this minor resistance. And now they're into this battery of candles. And if they get through that, there is an open gap overhead right here. So we'll see how far they get today. This is the neckline. They could get all the way back up and spike the neckline. We'll see what they want to do. So there's FNGU. Kind of doing the same thing as IWM. All right, so now let's take a look at the Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow, spike in the midpoint yesterday, closing above it. Super bullish there. 1, 2, 3 candles up. Actually now four green candles up, looking to produce a fifth one just about in the middle here, looking right into the minor resistance. That's all these tails that stick down. All right, so here's these tails that stick down, and it's right into that minor resistance. If they happen to grind up through that, they will be attacking the major resistance, which is, let me move the head, no longer the head, and let's define the major resistance would be all these tails that stick up here. So all this area up here over, well, we'll call it 453.70. All right, that's going to be your major resistance. Actually, take it right down to the bodies there. So over 453.40. All right, anywhere up there, they're attacking the major resistance. If they break through that, the bulls definitely have the ball and look for higher highs. If they breach through this major resistance area, in other words, they take out these highs. So Diamond's doing a fantastic job as well as QQQ and the SPY. Now let's go take a look at our T2122. T2122, yesterday's price action. We knocked on the overbought zone right there. We tried to enter it, not quite. We stayed in the buy zone, out of the chop zone all day. That's a bullish sign for today. We'll see what happens if we can break into that overbought zone sometime today or tomorrow. All right. There's T2122, T2123 on the 15-minute chart. Mostly green all day. Couple of red trend indicator balls here. Couple of red candles. But all in all, mostly green all day. A lot of consolidation up here. So this is a move up, consolidate over to the right. That's a bullish pattern in the short term. We'll see what happens. Closing candles above the falling 200. That's a bullish sign right there. Let's take a look at 3-bar chart. 3-bar chart still shows red. But let me just say, there's not much distance between the trend indicator and the price action. They are very close to turning this green. All right, so we'll see what happens here as price action bounces off of this right here would be the minor support, all of this trading action through here. So that comes from February of earlier this year. Here's T2123. All right, let's go take a look at some of the markets. All right, so let's take a look at the dollar. So here's the dollar. Got slammed down and rallied all the way back. Bullish reversal here. coming all the way back up through. This would have been minor resistance if you were trading from here. Coming through the minor resistance, challenging the major resistance overhead. So we challenge this area. Now it becomes minor support. All right. And then we got into these tails up here. This became the major resistance overhead. So you can see if I bring the crosshairs up, we got all the way up into that major resistance and we got held up. So then we bounced back down to minor support. Now minor support gave us some refueled us, refueled the dollar, and now the dollar looks like it's headed back up to challenge the major resistance up here in the highs. All right, so there's the dollar. Now let's take a look at USO. All right, USO. All right, still in that bull flag pattern. This would be the flagpole, would be right here. And then, of course, this area right here. All of that's going to be the flag. So there's the USO delivering the goods and moving back up to challenge the high of the flag. So looking to go challenge the top of that flag. Personally, I just hope it cools off for another couple more weeks. Don't want it to move up too fast. UNG got bullish yesterday. Back up towards the midpoint. Couldn't quite make it up there. Looks like the pre-market activity has us trading up there. So UNG trying to knock on the door of the bear flag of the midpoint bear flag. All right, so here is your hockey stick right here. And this becomes your hockey blade right there. Your stick blade. So that would be bear flag. Flagpole, flag right there. All this green shaded area. So we've been stuck in that since April. Maybe even before that. So April going on 6 months now. Coming up to 6 months. Pretty soon here. 5 months. UNG and this bear flag trying to break out. Not doing much of anything. Plenty of time to load up shares on that. UNG. All right, let's take a look at silver. All right, here's silver. Testing the downtrend and bouncing away. Nice bull flag right here. Little 3-day bull flag right there. Trade it up. Moves over. Challenge that downtrend. Like to see it kind of bull flag for like a week or two before moving over that downtrend. Kind of provides some type of support to land on if they do decide to go higher. So we'll see what happens. But SLV looking very bullish. Here's the last pullback. Notice you're way up over the midpoint. You're right into quadrant 4. See that pullback? That got bullied right there. So there's a bull 180 almost. So they're working on the bull 180 of this pullback. So nice move on silver. Gold not quite as pretty as silver, but still bullish. Here's the pullback. And gold breaching the midpoint, closing candles up there. That's a bullish sign. Here they put in a little mini 4-day bull flag and a little measured move going on there, all the way up over the midpoint and closing candles up there. So gold acting bullish. TLT acting bullish. Not quite at the midpoint, people, but let me just say, look for that higher low to set in pretty soon. And we could see a challenge of the midpoint on TLT. And Dennis wants to see trend lines for gold. All right, let me see what I got for you, Dennis. And, well, we have to drop one right across here. All right. You can see right there, kind of challenging that downtrend line right there, Dennis. And let's put one right through here. So here's a challenge of both downtrend lines right there. And on the bigger picture, here's an uptrend here. And then there's an uptrend here. And there's one more right here. You have to look at all the variables. So if it looks kind of sloppy, I have to look at all the possibilities. All right. So you got really, if you look at the bigger picture since, October of last year, this is kind of a bull flag. And let me share that out for you. And let's trash that. And let's get this. And just a second, I'm getting my drawing tools right now, people. All right, so here would be a flagpole up. And then we've got a flag, and this is a bullish flag that comes down right through here. That is a bullish flag, which usually results in a move to that side up there. So there's gold. Thanks for making me do that, Dennis. Let me trash that so you can take a picture. Actually, let me take a picture and drop it in there for you. Alright, let's just snap a quick photo for Dennis, and I'll drop that in there for him. And we'll move this out of the way. Alright, and somebody wants me to take a look at CAT. Oh, I like CAT. I like that higher low right there. I like CAT if it breaks this trend right here, which it looks like it's doing. There's a trend on CAT. There's a spike right there. As long as you trade up over that spike, I like CAT. I would look for the J hook to materialize right on the top here. Kind of right here. I would like to see a J hook materialize right there. Like to see some sort of pullback that this kind of show me that the higher low. I want to see that higher low come in, because once I got that higher low, then I'm willing to look at a possibility for the bulls to make the higher high. No higher low yet. I do like CAT. You got a higher low here from here. So you got that. But on the smaller time frame, I'd like to see that higher low. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 green candles up. Could produce a fifth one. Could produce a 6, 7, 8. We'll see what they want to do. But I'm looking for that pullback. That will be my first opportunity to get long on CAT. Nice trend there. Moving up. I like CAT. And if we put a trend line in for that one, you can see that uptrend is broken right there. But who's to say they don't trade down and start a new uptrend, like right over here somewhere? Right? They could move down, bull flag, and then start a new trend. We've seen price action do that before. All right, bullish is bullish. For me, I like it over that, right over that peak there. First, I'd really like to see the higher low. But that is a bull flag right there. That is in bull flag pattern. Yeah, I'll get this one too. Yeah. All right, let me just trade this, save this one. All right, traders, I will see. I'm going to have a morning wrap up, a daily wrap up, probably around 3:30, 4 o'clock tonight, and I will provide another video for you YouTubers out there. If you're out there, please subscribe. And I appreciate all of the kind comments, and keep them coming. I'm glad you guys are enjoying these. I like the views. Give me the thumbs up if you like the video. And I will see you all probably in about 8 hours.